When we look at the companies that do really well, especially in the B2B space, let's talk about Salesforce, right?
Yeah.
Salesforce has been able to activate an army of fans around their brand. Even though they probably don't have the best product in the market, they probably don't have the best, actually they definitely don't have the best customer support.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Mark Benioff has built $1 billion business, and he's done it through the people around it. He's done it through the crowd. I remember when I first got into the corporate world, and not so corporate, but the business world, I was scrolling through Snapchat one day, actually. That might show my age there a little bit. But I was scrolling through Snapchat, and a friend of mine from college, she was in medical device sales. And she was posting about Salesforce. She was like, Salesforce is down. This is the end of the world, blah, blah, blah. Just as a joke, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, why is somebody posting about Salesforce? Like, that's like their CRM. Like, why is that a thing? And I come to find out that what they've done so well is they've activated this community of people all around their business that use their product to be a part of it, right? They brought these fans, these salespeople, these marketers into their fold. And it's built this crazy business that just scales on top of each other because word of mouth.
Yeah.
When you have people talking about your brand, others talk about your brand.
Yeah, and what I think is an interesting topic that you always talk about is activating the people in your organization. So it's not even that you're saying go out there and acquire new people to actually promote your brand. You already have these assets in your business. And so it almost seems like a high leverage thing to just get the people you already have to be making content. So do you want to kind of bring that idea up as well?
Yeah, I mean, you already have the resources in your business. So many people sit there and say, I don't have enough people to create the content that I want. And obviously we're here in the studio, so I'll bring up content a little bit.
Yeah.
But people always say, I don't have enough people to create the content that I want. Well, how do you not have enough people when you're in $1 billion business, or when you're in a $100 million business, or a $20 million business? You got 100 employees around you. You got 100 customers. You got 100 distributors and dealers and integrators. Those are your marketers. Those are your fans. You got to use the resources that you have. We always use this scenario, like when you're back in college and you don't have any money, but you have to move from an apartment to a house, or an apartment to another apartment. Who are you calling? Right? You're calling your friends. You're calling your family, anybody who's around town to help you move, and you say, hey, I'll buy you a pack of beer. It's the same thing in business, and it's the same thing in marketing in business. Is we have these fans, we have these people around our brand. We need to pitch in and have them pitch in and share their voice to be a part of our growth. And it's some people see that and they're like, oh, no one's going to create for my brand. Well, you're actually creating for them. Because when they're creating content about you and about themselves and about their company, and you're sharing that out, you're now sharing out their brand. And who they are.
And what's also so interesting is even for, I mean, if you have thousands of employees, if you can activate all of them to create content, that is extremely high leverage. And even for an organization with like 10 people or 5 people, if you can have all 5 of those people promoting your brand rather than maybe just the company page on LinkedIn, making a few posts, you could see how that would actually like bring a brand to the next level. And so it seems to almost be an idea that works on like every scale, if you would say.
Well, I kind of skipped a step there. So I talked about just the content that you can get, right? But when it goes back to how are we growing the brand, it is the content. Because when you're able to share your voice, share your brand, be able to feed LLMs, feed thought leadership into LinkedIn and YouTube and all those different platforms, that becomes the word of mouth. People are seeing your clients talk about you. People are seeing the dealers that you work with talk about you. So even like I skipped a step there, but right, we're talking about growing our business. We grow our business through making sure we're educating and we're in the ears of our buyers and our prospects and our clients. And we do that through having our crowd creating, right? When we go to, Dallas Cowboys Stadium is down there. When we go to a Dallas Cowboys game, people hear me talk about this way too often. But when we go to a game, the fans are wearing the jerseys. The fans are pulling out their phones and recording content. And we have to ask ourselves in business, who's wearing our jersey?
Yeah.
Who's pulling out their phone and recording with us? Just like the fans at the Cowboys games are.
Yeah, that's such a good example as well. And you see, I think when you tell people to invest more in marketing, they're thinking that these things are so out of reach and that they're so hard to do. But I think the idea of just activating the people within your organization, like just to bring it up again, I just think it's extremely high leverage. And so what are some strategies that you get people to actually, maybe they understand that they need to get activated, but how do they actually go about doing that?
Exactly, right? Yeah. We're talking theory here is you need to activate your crowd. Well, how do you do that, right? What we found is the easiest way is through building your owned media, number one. Number two, client testimonial content, even though it sounds like it's hard to grab, it's much easier to grab. Number three, I have to do a short plug here, but MarketScale helps you do it. There's no doubt about that. But when it comes to actually getting people, I'm going to tell you a story real quick.
Okay.
We had a company within the construction industry. So obviously very blue collar, older workers, you wouldn't expect them to pull out their phone and create content for you. Through MarketScale, we have coaches who teach, train, coach people how to use the platform and how to create content. And so our coaches went in and said, hey, we need to find one champion within the business who will pull out their phone and start recording. So we found one gentleman who at first was like, no way, like I'm not creating content, right? We made it feel easy. So this is steps that you can take in your own business too. This isn't just MarketScale has to do this for you, right? We made it feel easy saying, hey, there's no stress at all. Everything you create, it's going to be approved by you. It's going to get edited. There's going to be no issue. It's going to be a small piece of content. It's just one that we're asking for. And we say, as you're going through your daily routine, just pull out your phone and talk about it. Right? You do this every single day. Obviously, it feels nice for people to see into your eyes and see what you do and show off your accomplishments. And so what we did is we had him record his coffee in the morning. He was pouring a coffee, record his drive to work. And then he was just on site. He pulled out his phone and he talked about what they were doing. Yeah. We brought that into the platform. We edited it, turned it around, made it a quick little clip. And it was awesome. It was so cool because it was so authentic. It was so real from somebody who's doing this every single day. Yeah. And as soon as we started posting him out and creating those clips, everybody else in the business was like, hey, I want to do this too. I want to show it off. The people from beforehand, they were saying, no way you're getting me to create content. Now we're looking at it like, whoa, look at Rob over here. He's getting posted out. Yeah. And so it becomes a flywheel effect, right? You got to find your one champion. You got to make it easy for them. Say, hey, you're doing this anyways. Just pull out your phone. Let's create something fun. You're going to enjoy it at the end of the day, even though they won't believe you. And then as soon as you start posting it and they're seeing the brand mixed with them and them showing them off, everybody else wants to be a part of the party and it becomes that flywheel. Yeah. Now that's inside the business. Now on the outside of the business, which is honestly more important of the marketers for your team too, and I wouldn't say more important, obviously you want your internal teams creating and sharing because it's great for them. But when you get your clients and you get your dealer network and you get your integrators creating content for you, that's where you truly see growth and where you win. And you do it by shouting them out. Yeah. Right? I'm always going to go back to that point that it's about them. But you're able to create content about what's going on within the brand. It's funny, we had and I know I'm going on a tangent here, but,
I'm listening. Yeah.
But we had, obviously people usually know what Upwork is. Yeah. Upwork reached out to our CEO and he said, hey, Ben, we would love to shout you and your brand out to our huge audience of people. We'd love to hear about, your experience using Upwork and what it's been like so that we can share your voice and share your brand.
Upwork is a pretty big company, so that would be a big shout out. Yeah.
Exactly. And all they're asking for is a quick testimonial where they can shout us out. Yeah. It's the same thing for every other business too. Yeah. You got to make it about the customer. Yeah. And they will love to be a part of it. And it's not just about making about the customer for them to do it, but also because now you're helping your customer in the long run. Yeah. People are seeing their brand, they're using your product, They know that they're getting excellent service if it's coming from you, and now you're tying things together.
What I think is interesting is when you say creating content, I think a lot of people think, and I love the studio, right? They think they need to create a setup like this or shoot an amazing commercial with, $1 million worth of equipment, things like that. But it seems like you see on all these platforms that even iPhone content can outperform a lot of these really well-polished, well-scripted things. And so do you see that iPhone filmed content or phone filmed content is outperforming a lot of these really high grade, well put together sets?
100%. When our buyers are doing research and they're looking into our company, yeah, they can watch a 60-second marketing video. I can tell you as a buyer myself, when I go out and I look at different platforms and vendors, if I look at a 60-second marketing video, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But guess what? If I'm scrolling on LinkedIn or I go into like their videos tab and I see their people outside of their business talking about their business, I'm like, holy cow, this is awesome. And like, I'll tell you firsthand, when I go home from work, the first thing I'm doing is putting it on YouTube, or maybe I'm on Instagram or on my phone scrolling in some way. And so are our buyers. Yeah. So is everybody. That is how we digest content, and we digest real, authentic content. If, you could think about when you go into YouTube, and this is how I feel when I watch videos, I will always watch a vlogger over going to some polished, full actor type TV show. Yeah. And now that is a newer way of thinking, but it's true for the older generation too. I can't tell you countless times I would come home from school growing up or came home from work or something, and my dad was sitting on the couch watching YouTube because and every time it was about a product, but it wasn't from the manufacturer. Yeah. I'll go into a little tangent here. He would go through these phases, right? So when he wanted to buy a new car, 6 months up to leading to buying that car, he was on YouTube every day watching videos on different cars. Yep. And same with boats and same with other things. And our buyers are doing the same thing. Yeah. So we already know it internally, but for some reason when we get to work, marketers think, oh yeah, we need this huge polished video. This is what people are going to watch. No, I mean, those do serve a benefit. I'm not hating on that because we do that here. So there's definitely a huge benefit to having production style videos and content. But when you're able to scale the real authentic content, that's what we watch.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I feel like going back to the original question of what's working now in 2026, it seems like buyers are looking for authenticity. And so if you can have a high production video that is authentic to like what you are in your brand, I think people like that. I think people like a lot of this iPhone filmed UGC sort of content is it's authentic. It's harder to fake it and to actually do all these other things. So it seems like authenticity is something that people are chasing out now in the content style. So I don't know if you see that as well.
Well, think about this. When was the last time you saw an Apple commercial that wasn't shot on iPhone? I mean, we know that's where we're going here, and it's funny. Even I was watching a reality TV show the other day, and even the reality TV shows know that they need to bring something even more personable into it because people think it's fake. And you know what they started doing is part of the show is from the people on the show pulling out their phone and recording their experience. And then they're putting that in as part of the production.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's interesting.
Everything we are seeing nowadays is going more and more authentic, even though obviously we're in the age of AI right now. And people are saying,
we're going to talk about that for sure,
things are less. And maybe I'll wait then, but I'll start with this is people think maybe we're less human, maybe we're less authentic because of AI. No, that's wrong, because what AI is doing is taking the unhuman aspects out of what we do, and now we can truly see the other side. We can say, hey, this is what I want to see is authenticity, and that's what builds it up.
Yeah. We could talk about it now. I do think it's an interesting segue. And so in your company has so much data in terms of what's working in content and what's not working and in marketing in general. So from all the stuff that you've seen, what or how do you kind of envision that AI is changing content, and also how people are viewing content, things like that?
So glad you brought up this question. And the reason why is because every marketer in 2025 was hearing the acronym GEO.
Yep.
And they were freaking out. They were saying, wait, I put so much money into our SEO. What do you mean I have to do something in GEO? Well, SEO as we know it is dying. There's no way around it. When I search something up on Google, the first thing that comes up is Google AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, now I don't even go to Google.
Yeah.
When I go on a trip, and I went to, it's funny, I went to Sweden a couple months ago. And for that entire trip, every idea I got from or to book was 100% from ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I went in there and I said, hey, I'm going to Stockholm with a buddy. Tell me the hotels that would fit X, Y, and Z for what we want to try to do.
Yeah.
What's the best area to stay in? Everything like that. Right? And what's the best attractions? So like if you're an attraction in a touristy city, the number one thing you should be focusing on right now is, are we showing up within LLMs?
Yeah.
Because that's what people are looking up. And when it comes to the content, what GEO and what LLMs source from is canonical user-generated content. What that means is original content from the experts, from your people.
Yeah.
You might have saw my LinkedIn post the other day.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Where I said AI rejects AI.
Yeah.
It's not that AI inherently just rejects anything coming from AI. It rejects anything unoriginal.
Yeah.
And so when you're creating marketing material or sales content, that won't be sourced.
Yeah.
When you're creating something that is from AI where it's already on its database, it's nothing new, it won't be sourced.
Yeah.
And so what we have to do as marketers and what we have to do in business is we need to get real expert-led content about certain pieces of our business, about every piece of our business, sorry. That way when people are looking things up, we're showing up, that the content that we're putting out there is being sourced.
Yeah. And I think I saw MarketScale posted like a workshop of sorts around GEO, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Was that mainly just around like the findings and things and like predictions for GEO and things like that? Or what was kind of the idea there?
Yeah. Great question, because I actually led that or was on that one.
Yeah.
But when it came to that webinar, we just launched a really awesome product here at MarketScale called AI Visibility. Within that, it is really a radar and a roadmap for GEO. The reason why we find it so important is because when it comes to what we do, we've always talked about user-generated content. We've always talked about getting expert-led, employee-led storytelling. And now that we know that's what LLMs source off of, you got to find a way to see, hey, are we showing up, number one? Are our sources showing up? What's the best source to show up?
Yeah.
As well as what do I need to do to make sure that we show up, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I call it the radar, because it shows you how many times you're mentioned throughout prompts that are asked to different LLMs like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity. It also shows you the citations. So what sources are being cited by LLMs? And then it goes into prompts that we ask it. And so you can put in different prompts that you think your buyers would ask. It's going to test it. It's going to show you what the results are, and it's going to say if you show up or not. And then the coolest feature, which I love, and it really has become part of a lot of our clients' weekly plan, is first thing Monday morning, they go into what we call the recommendations tab. And it has a high priority. And they click into the first one, and let's say it's we need to build a reviews and trust hub for our brand.
Yeah.
They go in, it gives them step-by-step on how to do it. They're able to think about the experts and the people that could create this. Obviously, if it's a trust hub, you want it coming from your clients. So they're going to start thinking about their champions, the clients that they really love.
Yeah.
They're going to send out requests within the platform, get that content back, and without them touching a finger, it's now uploaded. We created a trust hub for them, and they're now being sourced by LLMs for that.
Yeah.
And I went off on a tangent, but that's kind of what that webinar was about, is saying, hey, marketers, you need to do this. Here's how you can do it. And it's through user-generated content.
Yeah, and what I also love about content as well, the second order effect of creating really good content is it's easy to find online. It's searchable. It comes up in SEO and GEO. I think everyone knows the stat that YouTube is, I think, the second biggest search engine in the world.
Yep.
And so when you're creating this sort of content online, it also enables your business to be found organically through searches and things like that. So it seems like content not only has, a million effects, but one of them is also SEO and GEO. And so you would definitely say that creating the right type of content is helping you tap into that sort of trend of GEO and SEO.
Yes, 1,000%. And that is a great piece of it, right? For inbound, for organic traffic, that's how you're going to grow, is if you're having a lot of content, a lot of good content. Sorry, not a lot of content, because you can have bad content. But obviously that is a huge plus. Now, the other addition, which you probably saw my other LinkedIn post about, is 60 to 80% of our buyers would rather watch content before ever talking to a salesperson. And I think it was something around 80% said they would rather watch content and never talk to a salesperson. And even when they are talking to a salesperson, our buyers want to feel like they're doing their own due diligence. Like they're doing their own research. You have to give them the good educational content, thought leadership, so that they can do that research themselves. Because they're going to be looking anyways. So now we have to make sure that when they go and look, we have content for them to see. We have content for them to go off of. So there's the front end, there's the back end, and then the really big piece is you're engaging what you already have. When you ask a customer to build a testimonial for you, like in the Upwork example I shared earlier, you're building brand loyalty right there. It feels engagement. There's engagement there because you're posting out your client, you're sharing their brand, their voice, as well as your dealers. I talked to somebody yesterday who said, we have 1,000 dealers within our dealer network, which is more than end users than we have. And he goes, they're selling multiple different brands of products, and they're selling our competitors. How do we build that trust so that we're the first one they're going to? How do we do that? We get them to be a part of our brand in a way. We get them to feel like they're a part of what we're doing and what we're building. And we do that through, number one, one of the best ways you can do that is what we're doing right here. Podcasting, right? Somebody within the company could have a dealer network podcast where they bring on different dealers to hear things. And not only are you getting the content, but you're getting great data out of it too. Like you're hearing and you're connecting with your dealers. They feel like there's something, like you're actually listening, right? Which is what we want in business, is to make sure that we're hearing each other. You want them to see, in this case, the manufacturer posting them out, sharing their story. What are their successes and their wins? Because that's growing their business too.
I wanted to ask you about the podcast stuff. Obviously, it's a good topic for us. And so I think at MarketScale, you probably manage or have hundreds of podcasts that come through here. And so if you're a business owner thinking about launching a podcast, what are some of the benefits, and when should you know it's right for you to actually launch one?
It is right for you whenever you have a community that you want to engage and grow. And the reason why, 10 years ago, all we cared about for the podcast was, am I getting views? That's not the case anymore. You could have 0 views on a podcast and it's still doing a lot for your business. The reason why is, one, to go back to GEO, when you're creating educational content, people are seeing that pop up within LLMs. Even though you might have very low viewership, it's helping your GEO and your sourceability. Number 2, you're making a connection with the person you bring on. We say this a lot in the sales side of things. it's a lot easier to call somebody up and say, hey, I love what you guys are doing. I'd love to have you on my podcast than it is to say, hey, I'd love to get you on a 45-minute pitch and tell you about the problems you're having and how I can solve them, right? So being able to bring somebody on a podcast, number one, creates that connection, makes it easier to actually have a conversation and listen to each other. And then the third big piece I would say is for the thought leadership aspect.
Yeah.
You need to, as a brand and as a voice, be an advisor in that space.
Yeah.
I use this example a lot, but maybe you just moved to Texas and you're seeing everybody smoke briskets and you're like, hey, I'm going to go buy a brisket and I'm going to learn how to smoke this thing.
Yeah.
The first thing you're going to do is you're going to hop on YouTube and say, how do I smoke a brisket?
Yeah.
Well, if the smoker companies were smart, they would make sure all 5 of the first searches were people teaching you how to smoke a brisket on your grill.
Yeah.
So what would happen here is, let's say I just moved to Texas. I want to smoke a brisket. I look up, how do I smoke a brisket? And I go into one video and they're teaching me how to smoke this brisket, and they're doing it on a big green egg.
Yeah.
And they're talking about, hey, one really cool thing I could do here is, I'm able to do this because I have the big green egg, but they're not selling you. They're not pitching you. And 99% of the time, it's not coming from anybody at the big green egg. It's not coming from their company. It's coming from the people actually creating the content. And as soon as you see that and you keep learning, maybe you keep going back and back and back to that video every time you try and smoke a brisket, you're going to say, I need a big green egg.
Yeah.
Because they're the leaders in the space. They're the advisors in the space. That's what we need to do on LinkedIn too, is within LinkedIn, people are seeing our content, and YouTube, if we become the educators, like let's say we're in finance or accounting and we're talking about things you need to look out for within the industry and within your own finances, you're going to keep hearing it, and you're going to be like, yeah, that helped me. Yeah. Wow, these people really know what they're talking about. Maybe I should reach out to them and they could help me even more.
Another thing I wanted to ask you as well is, how do you know which sort of content format to choose? Between podcasting, direct-to-camera videos, and all these other things, how do you actually advise a business owner on what they should be allocating their resources towards?
Obviously, it depends on their goals. And it depends on the problem that they're having right now and where they need to solve that challenge, right?
Yeah.
And that's the really cool thing about that AI visibility dashboard is we can detect that problem. We can say, hey, look, you are not showing up when it comes to, like the example earlier, reviews and Trust Hub. Yeah. So we know the first thing that we need to do is we need client testimonial content, and we need them talking about their experience with the product. Yeah. Now, when it comes to content forms, it can really be shaped into a lot of different things. Because even with a reviews and Trust Hub, you could have a podcast. You bring it on your clients and talking about it and saying, here are the experiences, right? When it comes to, talking head style versus on-prem, like on-site type of content where people are pulling out their phones, you need all of it. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. But it also depends on your business, right? If you're a consulting firm, your consultants are what people buy, right? They buy from people and your knowledge. So what's the most important thing that you can do is have your people creating and sharing that knowledge. Yeah. Because that's what the buyers would want to see. If you're, a construction company, people want to see the work that you're doing. Yeah. So it's going on site, holding up your phone and recording it and showing off the different aspects and talking through it, talking through how you guys make it an easy, streamlined process without being too salesy, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know exactly how to answer that question. But you need a lot of content, a lot of good content. Yeah. In different forms. I mean, they all play a different role.
Yeah, and my thought is, it's also, as someone who's wanted to make content for a while, and this is, I think, my 7th episode and starting to make content, it seems like an advice I'd give to myself 7 episodes ago when I was at 0 is like, do the format that you also enjoy the most, would get you the biggest yield. And it's like finding the balance for what you like doing, what you can get good at, and what's actually valuable to your business. So
100%.
And on a similar note, I was going to ask you, do you have any good frameworks around knowing what platforms to focus on? Because, arguably there's, 6 or 7 or 8 really big social media platforms right now. How do you know which one to focus on and your frameworks around that?
It 100% depends on your industry. And I'll tell you why, because I was actually looking at a couple different AI visibility dashboards.
Yeah.
So I was looking, one of our clients is a large company within the hearing aid space.
Okay.
And I went and looked at their AI visibility dashboard, and as the citation showed, the number one source that LLMs use is a forum board.
Oh, wow.
And so it's not going to be your LinkedIn. It's not going to be your YouTube. It's making sure you're showing up in forums, and it's making sure your people around your business, your clients, your partners, everybody is posting to that forum, sharing their excitement, right? I was also looking at another one where the first citation that showed up was their website.
Yeah.
And then another one, which was YouTube and Reddit. Yeah, you'd be surprised about the amount of times that LLMs actually source most of their information from Reddit.
Yeah. I was just hearing about that recently, actually. Yeah.
And I was shocked when I saw it. I didn't think that would be it. And then, I was looking through the dashboard. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, this is sourcing a lot of things from Reddit. So, number one, it's diagnosing the industry and where people are getting their information from.
Yeah.
And then it's prioritizing based on that. And so, MarketScale could help you do that in seconds.
Yeah.
But if you're just kind of figuring it out for yourself, it's search, like you could do this easily. Search into ChatGPT and ask questions that you think your buyers would ask before they know who you are.
Yeah.
See what it sources and go to those sources and say, okay, I need to post more here. I need to create more content here. You got to fill all your social channels. Your LinkedIn's super important for top of funnel engagement, for thought leadership. Your YouTube's very important for education and for people going and trying to see who you are and what you do. And then your website is, you need a lot of content on your website. You need your podcasts.
I know a good web designer.
I do know one too, sitting right over there, who can help you do that. But your website's super, super important when it comes to the content. Going back on what we were talking about earlier, when your buyers are trying to learn more about you, they're going to go to your website to learn. And the best form of, or the easiest to digest is going to be video content. So do you have video content on there explaining what they need to hear?
I could talk about that all day. It's what makes a website so much better so quickly is having good video content. You can have good headshots and things on there and different photo content, but I think having, from a testimonials perspective, videos on their website of clients reviewing the products, things like that, a VSL, these sort of things that I think people intuitively know is helpful for their website and their business, but they don't actually do that sort of thing. So, I guess, do you want to talk a little bit about how you see any case studies or things like that around adding video content to their website and even their sales process and how that's helped them?
I wish I had my laptop in front of me, because we heard from one of our clients 2 weeks ago. Actually, a prospect was asking, hey, can I talk to a client? And we're like, yeah, of course. And so our client at the time sent an email with all the statistics of the content that they've created, how much traffic it's drive to their website. It was something like 158% increase in organic traffic since we started working with them and creating all of that amazing content, right? It's super important. If you want to be sourced, if you want your website to come up first in a Google search or in LLMs, you need video content. There is no doubt about that. And you're right. Marketers and business people know that they need it. But we struggle with actually doing it because we don't know a plan of action. Well, your plan of action should be get the people around your business creating. Asking people, hey, can you record this real quick? It takes 2 minutes to record a piece of content. It's having your team edit it, or coming to MarketScale will help you. A lot of plugs here. Way too many. Way too many.
Check out MarketScale and check out Omis Digital. you won't be disappointed.
But no, when it comes to like actually getting done, people just feel like they don't have the time to create content. It's very time consuming. They feel like they don't have the budget and they don't have the team to do it. And so it's just figuring out easy ways for you to say, hey, we need to create this piece today. Let's upload it to the website. Let's just get our social channel or our website filled with good content because we know it's helpful. Like there's nobody in business today that's going to say, oh, that's not helpful. And if they do, I don't know how they're in business.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I also think for most companies, they've heard for decades now that adding good content to like your blog writing and things like that is good for your SEO and good for people to look at. But I think on the same note, adding a library of content, video content to your website is so helpful. And even if you want to link that out, like on our website, we don't have anything hosted necessarily on it, but we do have it linked out to YouTube. So if you want to, people are going to your website to check things out. They want to see your content. If you click and go into YouTube, it's going to be so much more helpful for the sales process. And even as my own personal anecdote, it has been super helpful for our sales, even in the the first 6 episodes. The people see we're real, we're talking on camera, things like that. So in the small time that I've done it, it's been so helpful. And so I definitely agree.
Well, you're bringing that familiarity to them. I was talking to a network type of company the other day, and when you go to their website, they have all these faces. And they have all these like testimonials, written testimonials, because their brand is built off of familiarity. It's built off of, hey, look at who also is a part of this network and a part of this member program. Now imagine if there was video content of these folks actually talking it out loud. And saying or talking about their experience and their success stories. It makes it real. Now you're looking at it, you're like, wow, okay, this is really cool. Like, look at the experience these folks are having. And written's great, especially for SEO and for LLMs too. For GEO, written is great. But the video content is what makes it real and authentic, and that's what people want to see.
I do want to switch gears a little bit so we get this content in around building affiliate programs, referral programs, things like that. I think, and of anyone I know, you could probably speak to that more than anyone. And the number I saw is, I think you're currently managing around 365 guides. So like, referral partners, affiliate program partners. And so do you want to talk through even how that program came about, the benefits, and how you've seen that grow your business?
Yeah. I mean, it really started probably about 4 years ago. And I wasn't working on it yet, but it started as almost a fan base, let's say. It's people who were really close to our brand, whether they were clients or they worked here in the past and they had to move on for some odd reason or whatever, but still loved the brand and they wanted to be a part of the success. And so we started with a group of like probably 10, or no, it was probably even smaller than that. And they became our referral partners, our affiliate partners. They would go out and find people that they know and refer them over to us, and they'd be able to make commissions on it. And it was awesome, and it still is, because what we're doing is more of building, like I said, a fan base than of just clients, right? Because a lot of these folks aren't within our ICP, aren't people that would work directly with MarketScale. Maybe they work at a company that's B2C, or they're running their own smaller business, and things of that nature. Or some of them retired, and they just want something fun to do and still be able to make money on the side. And that's where we found the sweet spot is people who have had a good experience with MarketScale in the past, but also have the time and want to help bring success and growth to the experience that they had in the past, so that we can keep growing and keep building on those experiences, right? And it's just been amazing to see. And that's what we've done, is really built a fan base that's singing our praises.
And so if you're a business owner looking to start an affiliate program or referral program for your business, do you have any advice on how you'd actually go about doing that?
Start small.
Start small.
Start with folks who really are a part of your best criteria for your affiliate program. And now that looks like all different shapes and sizes for different companies, but it's finding and I'll tell you, the secret sauce for us were people who, and I already kind of said this, but were clients in the past, had a really good experience. They're no longer within the B2B industries, and have a little time where they want to put some effort into something and make some money on the side.
Yeah.
Start small and really engage them. Like almost have them a part of it, like a full commission sales rep.
Yeah.
Right? Like a commission only sales rep. And even though it's just referrals and it shouldn't take too much time, you start there and give them a lot of time, and then it grows from there. What you'll see with an affiliate program is it grows exponentially, not linearly. Trying to find the word there.
It's a difficult word.
Yeah.
And what I find interesting as well is a lot of people can go out there and recruit affiliates for their program and have 1,000 people in there, but actually getting them engaged and activated, I think, is something that's a lot harder to do. And I've met a lot of the other guides that are in MarketScale. They're all extremely active in their community. So do you have any advice on how to actually keep these people engaged and wanting to actually help the business?
Well, it starts with bringing in the right people.
Yeah.
100%. Because you're right. You could go out there and you could randomly, get some people off the street and be like, hey, be an affiliate for us. Mm-hmm. But if they don't work, they've never worked within the industry your buyers are in, if they don't know the right people, and they've never had a good experience with MarketScale in the past, they're just coming in to make money, there's a very low chance that they're going to be engaged.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really hard, and it's going to take a lot of time and effort to make it into something. Now, we kind of put our guides into different buckets, right? There's some that are more transactionally motivated. So they're here because they're like, yeah, I can make some money on the side by making easy referrals, which is awesome. That is a great way, and it's a healthy way to have an affiliate program, even though a lot of people say that's not healthy, but that's what they're trying to get out of it. And so you have to identify that as soon as you bring someone into your program. And my whole goal when I brought in new guides into our affiliate program is the first question I asked is, why do you want to be a guide? Is it you want to make some money on the side? Is it because you want to learn about the media world and you want to be a part of it and actually grow your own channels, and we'll help you do that? Or is it kind of somewhere in between, like, we call some of them family and friends, people who are very close to some of the folks here at MarketScale and just feel a part of it, but don't care too much about the money side, don't care too much about the content side. So your goal is going to be figure out what's their motivator, why are they a part of it, and then use that as your engagement pieces. Right? I'm not going to go to somebody who is just wanting to make some extra cash, and I'm going to say, hey, I need you to create a podcast. Hey, I need you to create content so you can see the value. I mean, sometimes you will. And it has worked out in the past where we've done that before, and it's been great. And now you have kind of the mix of both. But you want to make sure that you are engaging them in the way that they want to be engaged with.
That was literally my next question, is about how do you identify like the motivation to actually keep people engaged? But I think if you have an affiliate program and you have X amount of people in there, keeping them engaged and wanting to engage with your brand is easy when you know like the reason they're there. Because for some people, it probably will be the commission, or the experience, or learning, or whatever. And so I think asking them like what is literally your motivation is super helpful. And so do you have any other really good tips for keeping people engaged in their affiliate program, and even how to structure it as well? Because every affiliate program I've seen is a little bit different.
So I will start with a theory that we like to talk about when it comes to our guides, our affiliates, which is the coffee shop theory and the record store theory. Coffee shop theory is you don't go to a coffee shop to get a coffee, right? You go there for the community. You go there because it's another workspace outside of your house. And guess what? You're also going to be buying a coffee while you're there. But what Starbucks has done so well is they've created this workspace. And they've been able to be a part of it, meet people within the community, having people come and join. And as that happens, more and more people come into the coffee shop. More and more people come into the community. And you're able to grow your brand. And as these folks are coming in, that means more referrals. That means more deals. That means growing organically, right? I haven't found the number one way, or else, I I'd be driving a Lamborghini or something. I don't know. Because affiliate programs are hard.
Yeah.
They are really, really hard because a lot of times these are folks who have their own job, have their own life. They're not thinking about you too much. The one caveat to that is you got to bring a success story for them and to them. And we've done that because we've given guides access to our studio space and to our platform, and we help build their personal brand because we want them to have a good experience with MarketScale.
Yeah.
And a really cool piece of that is now they feel attached. Like, this is awesome. I want to grow this. I want to help you guys grow because you guys are helping me out.
Yeah.
But also because now they're creating content and it's getting out to their folks and their folks and keeps growing and growing, and we're building that community. We keep building and building and building and building.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, it's exponential because when you have 10 guides, now you have 50 guides. When you have 50 guides, now you have 200 guides.
Yeah.
Because they're bringing in their folks, they're bringing in their people. And I think a really hard thing to do when you start hitting that stride is making sure that you're bringing in the right people, the right affiliates, because a lot of times you'll have people come in that are expecting but not giving in certain things, and you gotta play, figure out what works. But it's a hard game to play. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I think the idea of having an affiliate program done well is awesome. You have essentially an army of people who are referring you business and they're enjoying it, and it's a great exchange. At the other side of the coin, it's super hard to actually do, and then also to maintain that relationship over years to go. So, are there any other types of businesses that you recommend start an affiliate program, or that it fits for any industries, or do most businesses benefit from having one done right?
I mean, every business does, but it comes in different forms, right? When we talk about, let's say you're a med device manufacturer, you know who your affiliates are? Well, actually, they're your dealers too. Yeah. But it's your doctors, and they know that, and that's why. I mean, especially if you're going wholesale model, which most are, obviously, and it's going directly through doctors, that's your dealer network. So it's growing through that. If you are a SaaS platform tech company, it's 100% needed. There's no doubt about that. You need an affiliate program because there's so much out there in the market, and people will not look to you unless they're referred. Yeah. Right. And I won't say not, but it makes it a lot easier. Like, I know for myself, when I want to find a restaurant in Dallas to go to, 99% of the time I'm asking around saying, hey, who has a good restaurant, I want to go out to. And it works in the opposite way as well. If I'm not even looking for a restaurant, but let's say somebody in the office just went to Nick and Sam's for the first time, which obviously it couldn't be the first time because that's a staple here in Dallas if you don't know. Yeah. But let's say they went to Nick and Sam's for the first time. They came in the office and they were raving about it, saying, oh, Nick and Sam's is awesome. We got this steak dinner, this platter, and blah, 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 blah. Now everyone else is going to be thinking about it, right? Yeah. So you got to have your army of fans, and you got to make sure that you have a good, strong group there that really, truly believes in what you're doing. Yeah. And actually, one thing I completely forgot to go over when it comes to engaging guides and helping grow it, it's education, right? You can send out as many marketing blasts as you want. You can do as many rewards as you want. Like, hey, I'll give you a TV if you make 5 referrals, which we've done a lot in the past. But what actually engages them is education in their life, because they're trying to create content. How can I help them create content through the education that I know when it comes to podcasting and content, but also about the company, right? They're an affiliate for a reason. They wanted to sign up because they want to help you succeed. So they want to learn about, the wheels that get spinning with your company. They want to learn, how does MarketScale actually work? How do you guys help people? They want to hear testimonials to be like, wow, that's really cool. I'm going to share this with somebody. And so it's keeping that education going. One thing that I really loved doing was I had these things called guide hours. And so twice a week, 30 minutes each time. I had an open office hours where anybody could hop in. And by the end of 2025, I was having 8 to 10 people, different people, join every single time.
Yeah.
And the coolest part about it is what I would talk maybe 10% of the time, because it's all the guys talking to each other. You're building a network, you're building a group. And when you can build a group where they find other successes and other things from it,
Yeah.
that's where you're going to win.
Yeah. No, that makes complete sense. And
Yeah.
I'm also interested for ourselves because, we look back at our revenue last 3 months. I think 70% of it has come from other, marketing companies or affiliates,
Yeah.
more or less. We haven't set out for a program, but referring us business. So I think in 2026, we're definitely going to double down on that.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely steal some of those tips as well.
Yeah, your channel is your most important asset, especially as a smaller business, because you don't have a huge sales force. You don't have 10 people going out there cold calling or whatnot. And if you can, that's great too.
Yeah.
But you got to find the other routes. You got to have an army, like we've been saying, that's singing your praises, right? And maybe that's other marketing agencies in that case, where they become a wholesaler of you, and now you're selling through the agency.
Yeah.
Or it's your affiliate program that's referring business to you, or it's your, in other cases, it's your dealer, it's your channel, it's your integrator. All these different channels is how you're going to win and do it successfully without breaking the budget.
Yeah, and even in our example, like as a web design agency, you would imagine that we have a few relationships with social media companies.
Yeah.
And they do a little bit different from what you do. So obviously I recommend MarketScale over them. But they get a lot of different deal flow for website projects and things like that. There's an SEO partner that we know, and so he's been referring us business as well and things like that. So I think in your own business, identifying who has complementary services that has access to those sort of things is probably another good strategy to look at.
Yeah, that's our agency division.
Yeah.
So folks like yourself, folks who are a marketing agency, and if you know anything about MarketScale, we are not an agency at all. We are a tech-enabled service that helps people scale their content. And agencies actually love what we do because they're not able to do what we do.
Yeah.
Because it's the tech aspect.
Yeah.
And so they're able to resell MarketScale to their customers as a white labeled service, something like you would do with HubSpot or MailChimp or things of that nature. And now they are getting an added revenue stream, and they're also having an added service that they can offer to their clients, which is getting customer testimonials, which is scaling content from your external users, right? An agency can't do that. They have great production teams because their production teams can go out and create awesome videos, but they're not able to grab 100 testimonials in one day.
Yeah.
It's just not in their nature, right? They're labor driven and being able to go off of that. So we help a lot of agencies really help their clients scale content, and that's one of the best partnerships I've seen that I've really loved and enjoyed being a part of. Yeah,
I completely agree. And on a similar note, so we've talked about affiliate programs, using that to grow your business. We've talked about content a lot.
Yeah.
Are there any other categories we might not have touched on, even within content as well, that in 2026 people should be looking at to actually grow their business? I'll spin it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be a strategy from within content, from within affiliate programs.
Yeah. I mean, we covered a lot, I would say. When it comes to making sure your socials are filled out, we know that. Making sure you're showing up in GEO, SEO, all of that, we know that. Affiliates and partners, channel partners, obviously a great way. One thing I've really focused on this year, I'll tell you, is our own internal sales teams, right? Is scaling and growing a sales team is super important, because that's the first touch point. If it's not the content and if it's not the other things, that's more direct and you're able to really hit on. But, I don't know if I have anything specific.
I think this has been awesome. I think we can probably end it here, but where can people find you, and where should people check you out? Yeah, my email is Hunter, Hunter .Lopatin, Lopatin at MarketScale.com. Feel free to shoot me an email. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Hunter Lopatin. And I look forward to
hopefully hearing from some of you, hopefully this helped. As we're talking about thought leadership, we're talking about being the advisors in the space. Hopefully it gave you guys some educational tips, educational things to go off of for your own content. And yeah, if you're ever getting to a place where you're like, what we were talking about earlier, hey, I know I need to get on my website more. I know I need more client testimonial videos. Hey, I know I need to build and grow my dealer network. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to help and at least, have a call kind of like diving into what the problem is and seeing if I can at least give you some tips on top of it.
Yeah. And I have to do another plug on top of that. Again, back to MarketScale, because they actually host all these podcast episodes. So if you see all this good stuff and you like it, you can thank them. You can thank Hunter. So, yeah I think it's been awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me on.
Yes.